Gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Detroit Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Put him up. Here we go. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up. Hey, can.
Cousins on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Give me the radar. 54. I'm trying to collect. Hey, Alpha.
Now Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Double right.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Room to run inside the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Joker, 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 Joker. Watch twins. Watch twins.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Emerson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw, Stafford. Now they go screen, it's complete. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be taken at the 10. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 26, check 26, check 30, 26.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down.
Right here. 52. They're not ready.
I know, easy.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Where's 52?
Hey, Zoo.
52's the mic. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Right there, hot.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
The hot. What is it?
52's the mic. Let's go, let's go.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen. Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's going to let it go deep for the end, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. The drive starts with a completion left side. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. 22 yards on the catch and run. A first down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's McKissick. Oh, what a move. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Lady!
It's our time. It's our time.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford, and that's complete to Jesse James. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well,
a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
At the 49-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Check, check.
Hey, 382, let's 50. Good route here.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Deuce. Check. Sponge. No.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's not going to get the first down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or 2 short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Ready to break.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Check, bust it. Safe.
Gun.
Check, motion out of backfield. Motion out of the...
Leave it. Bring up 48. Hey, orbit. What's that?
Throwing is Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Cousins now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Watch the slant. Showing it. Kill.
Rhino.
Alert flag.
Hey, flipper.
Kill. Check.
Hot.
To throw, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 30 on second down. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a third and long situation.
Check. Crunch. Hey, switch gears.
Throwing is Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Mike 52. Mike 52. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Here's Cousins. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
We're good, we're good.
5-2 to Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2.
Bravo.
Cut. New Mike 52. Mike 52. Rabbit.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Treadwell. He's got a man. Complete. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
28 yards. That's good for the Vikings. First down. 1st and 10 at the 40.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Check. Rose.
Going on the ground with Madison. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Lions' 43-yard line.
The hot. Where are you?
52 right here. 52.
First. Hey, Foxtrot.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52.
Right there.
Cousins now. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
3rd and long for Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They will run it. It's McKissick. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the end zone, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
from his end zone. Stafford on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
It's 4th down.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing again is Stafford. He'll buy some time right, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Now Stafford. This complete to Jones. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him 1st downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check. Check 9. Check 4.
Tight dog. Black. Gun.
Motion.
Watch your distance.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go option to the short side. Then he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. He was able to escape the pocket and get out of bounds. You like the decision-making?
I love the decision-making, and I love the execution because you just know that his eyes were darting all over the place. You know, they talk about keeping your head on a swivel, looking for the danger spots where the hits are going to come from. How about him getting all he could out of that run and then getting out of bounds?
And he told us, look, I'm a rookie. I'm waiting for the game to slow down, but it seems like he's processing things pretty well.
He certainly is. He's slowing the game down himself with his actions.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Wide. Shit.
All right, now here we go. Oh.
Tighten up. Check the
Line out.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You don't want this.
Black.
You got tight right there.
On 2nd down. Boom. He will push his way down to about the 14. The tackle made there by Jared Davis. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Bailey's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Stafford now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call. But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Stafford throwing on target to Jones.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up.
Again, it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now it's Stafford. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now Stafford. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Pick the edge. Come. 40's Mike. 40's Mike. Hey, here we go.
Now.
Watch the pass. Hey, 40's Mike. 40's Mike right there. 40's
Mike.
Pick me
Mike.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Switch.
Hey, yo.
Mike 40, Mike.
Hey, Echo.
Come on, let's go.
Cousins to throw it this time. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Stafford
This offensive line flat out.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Back to throw, Stafford. Complete to Jones. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
A gain of 13 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.